Hi, I'm James Bosson from Flex Legal, and in this video, we'll be demoing the Flex Legal SQE journal. We'll be showing the full lifeline of the journal, all the way from a journal user writing out and submitting a journal entry to their supervisor confirming the journal and letting the journal user reflect back on what was hopefully a successful SQE placement. We hope you enjoy.
Hi, I'm Isabel, and for these purposes, I'm going to be an SQE candidate filling in my Flex Legal SQE journal. So I'm just going to go through the website here at flex.legal/SQE QWE journal. I'm just going to click here. Because I've already made an account with Flex Legal, I'm going to go straight to my kind of journal homepage, but you would obviously have to kind of create your own login. So I get taken here to the journal homepage where I've got all the journals I've created over the past year. To give you a bit of a background, I have completed 96% of my QWE, and I've done this at 3 organizations. So I've created 3 journals because a journal is essentially a collection of journal entries from each organization. So as you can see here, I've done 96% of my QWE, and just going down here, I can track all the SRA competencies that I've addressed in my QWE. I've now just completed my final month of QWE at a law firm called Louise Law. So I'm going to create a new journal for that and show you how I do this. So I just go back to the journal homepage. I'm going to click New Journal. I'm then going to name the journal Louise Law Journal. And this journal description is just going to be record of QWE at Louise Law. I'm then going to have to add a new organization because I haven't done any work experience at Louise Law before. And this organization is SRA regulated. Do, however, note that you don't actually have to do your QWE at an SRA regulated organization. So I'm just going to create the new journal here. And here it is. As you can see, the total hours worked here is 0. That's because I haven't done an entry yet. So I'm then going to just create a new entry. I'm going to add my supervisor, who is Louise Anderson. And my entry title is just going to be QWE at the property department, because that's the department I was sitting in my QWE. My start date was the 28th of July, so I'm just going to put that there. And my end date was the 28th of August. I worked for 150 hours because I just worked a 37.5-hour working week. And now I'm going to fill in my journal entry. So firstly, I describe what I did. I'm now just going to go through and select the SRA competency that I feel I addressed. Because I did some legal research during my qualifying work experience, I'm going to select B2 because I feel that's relevant. I then just add the competency, and I'm going to tick all of these because I feel I had the opportunity to develop all of the competencies, and note that's all that's required by the SRA. I would then go through and add all the competencies that I feel I addressed. I'm then going to say how I can evidence my experience, what I would do differently in the future, and whether I have any further learning needs that I can identify. And then I'm going to say how I may address these needs. Do note that the last 3 questions here are not actually required by the SRA. They are just kind of reflective questions that Flex Legal has included to allow for personal development. So now that I've finished my entry, I'm just going to select Create Entry. And as you can see, it appears here. Notice the total hours worked has changed from 0 to 150 to reflect my entry. I'm then going to go onto the entry itself, and I can see here that I can download it as a PDF or edit the entry, but I'm actually going to submit this entry to my supervisor. I need to ensure that I've included all the details I need, and I think I have, so I'm going to confirm that.
I have now received an email inviting me to supervise Isabel's SQE journal. So I'm going to accept this email, and this will take me through to the supervisor section. And here I can see that a journal has just come through a few minutes ago, and it's a record of Isabel's QWE in the property department. So I can see all my other journal entries that I have approved, completed, or submitted. I'm now going to review this one. So at this stage, I can read everything that Isabel has written, all of her reflective learning. I can check the hours worked, the dates are correct. I can view the competency that Isabel feels that she's covered, all of her evidence. And at this stage, if I agree, I'm going to tick that there were no issues that arose, and I'm happy that it reasonably reflects the work that was undertaken. I'm going to approve the entry, and I'm going to leave Isabel a comment. And this has now been approved.
So I can see here that Louise has actually approved my journal, which means I'm ready to submit my journal because I've finished my QWE at Louise LLT. So I'm just going to select Submit Journal, and I'm going to add my supervisor, who is Louise again. And I'm also going to say that Louise is a solicitor qualified in England and Wales, because the SRA requires a supervisor to be a solicitor if they are confirming a journal. So I'm just going to select that and click Next and Submit Journal.
I have now been invited to confirm Isabel's journal. So I've received an email and I'm going to accept the invitation. Here I can see all of the different candidates that I am currently managing, and I can see that Isabel has submitted her journal and it is pending confirmation. So I can review Isabel's journal here at this stage. I can see all of the different entries that she has submitted. I can see that her previous entry has already been approved by the supervisor. I can also see exactly how well she's done against the different competencies, and I can review which ones she feels that she has provided an entry for. And I can see up here the wheel of how many months she's completed. So if I'm happy with all the contents, I can go through and approve the total journal. So at this point, I am confirming that the dates are correct. I confirm that I am a solicitor qualified in England and Wales, and I have reviewed the candidate's work. I will provide my SRA number. I confirm that the length of work experience is correct, and that I have provided Isabel with the opportunity to develop some of the prescribed competencies. And I confirm that there were no character or suitability issues during the time of the placement. I then confirm this, and Isabel's journal is now confirmed.
So I can now see that Louise has indeed approved my journal and the journal is complete. Just to show you how this looks on my framework, I can see that I've completed my QWE, and I can look at all the competencies that I've had the opportunity to develop.